Okay, so it's day 3. This project has turned into way more than I was expecting. The floors need work because they put good plywood over a bad deck. So that's just another nightmare in and of itself. Then if I go ahead and repair all that, then I gotta put up walls. Then I need to like close it off so that everything's waterproof, yada yada, time and material. The game plan now is just basically put on a roof, so it's like an awning, and I will come back, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with this area later, and I'll come back and wrap it up later one way or another, whether it stays a covered deck or we close it off and use it for rooms. I spent the last hour or so trying to figure out what I need for material. These are my plans. I hope I'm right with everything. We'll find out. So this is the result of my Home Depot trip. There it is, $1,400 of material. I got 8 posts, 56 2x4s, 12 feet long, 15 2x6s, 24 sheets of plywood, and 8 posts. And some screws and knick-knack stuff too. I'm still gonna have to go back to the store and get some felt paper and a few other things, but this was enough for today. Day 4. I was hoping to be a lot further ahead than this, but it is what it is. It's a big can of worms here. All I can say is, what the f, a free floating stud here. Anyway, I had to mess with this because I got attached shit here and this is rotten, so I gotta figure something out. This whole eave I started exploring into purely because I need to I need a good board down there at the end. And because it's rotten, I had to keep exploring. Finally, I'm finding some good wood. But man, look at this. What kind of work is this, man? This piece is totally rotten. This is a real pain in the ass pulling this thing out. But thankfully, it looks like what's behind it is good. There's the major problem area right there. Yikes. There's a little strip piece that a furred piece there that I had to, 2x4 that I had to strip for a furred piece so I don't have a big gap between the edge and the styrofoam that's in there. I know why they cut the flap here. It was because of the 2x6 here. They did it so they could center it on the stud here as their header board, because if they didn't, yeah, that's why they did it. They had to cut it in order to center it. So I see why they did that. Now I'm going to be pretty much flush here, but once I put the flashing in, it should be all good. That flashing is just sitting there for now because they're calling for rain for the next 2 days, so hopefully it does a little bit of water diversion if it comes down too bad. So otherwise it's just sitting there. I'm at a good stopping point, so I'm going to call it a day. So I'll be on baby duty after this. Hope it doesn't rain too much in the meantime. Day 5. Today's probably going to be a slow going, kind of easy day. Not going to stress too much. I've been developing a toothache over the last 2-3 days, so I've got some Vicodin in me and 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. Feeling pretty good right now. They're also saying it's going to rain and there'll be lightning today. Time to break out some power tools. Don't try this at home, kids. I don't even know what to say about this. What are you supposed to do with something like this? I moved the phone line so it's no longer hanging up there on the facial. It's kind of tied off to the pole over there. So day 5 ended in rain, hail, thunder, and lightning, so it was a scramble to put everything away. Day 6. Just more of the same stuff. All I do is keep tearing stuff apart. I still got more to tear out. Another free floating stud. I just want to cry. Okay, so this is a total nightmare piece here, but I got it back in. Tied it in right there. Did the same thing over here. Tied it in at an angle. And then I towed in the screws to the studs as best as I could. Wherever I had a good spot to do it. Anyway, it feels pretty solid. Right here, there's a wire. So I cut out a little groove back in there with the Sawzall. When I put this piece up here, I've got these pieces that are screwed into the sides of the trusses. I'm still going to put something in the truss. I think it's good once I get so far in, but anyway, I'm going to put a screw in there. I'll put a screw in there, and I'm just going to do that all the way down until I get to the last one here, which is might look bad, but it's a good stud. And these pieces that I put next to the trusses, they're only 6.5 inches long. If I go any longer than that, I won't be able to screw it in. That's as long as I can get it and still work on it. And now onto this piece. The day is coming to a close. I did as much as I could up there until the boy had to take a nap, and then I had to kind of steer clear of his bedroom window over there. So to keep busy, I kind of switched gears and started doing this. I ran a string line over to here to give me the edge of the house, and then from there I use that to set my post. The post is flush with the house. That stud will actually be centered right on top of this post when I make my cuts. To find where I put my next post, I've got this concoction going on here where I stood it up with this piece and this piece. And once I got that leveled, then I ran this piece here across and this piece here to get this guy leveled out and make sure that my my block is in the right spot. And then I did the same thing for this guy here. And my next post is going to go in this bed right here where this block is. They cemented this stuff together, so I need to take a sledgehammer to all this. It looks like I'll just miss the septic tank, so that's a plus. So that is going to be the roof line right there. I'm actually going to have that's just sitting there for the visual of what it's going to be. It's basically 7 feet from the deck up to the stud there, and the front of the house is pretty much the same thing. It's a 7-foot clearance in the front.